Hans Christian Andersen, one of the most celebrated writers in the world, is widely known for his fairy tales, which have enchanted readers of all ages for nearly 2 centuries. Born on April 2, 1805 in Odense, Denmark, Andersen's life and work reflect a remarkable journey from humble beginning to international fame. His imaginative storytelling and unique style have cemented his place as a literary icon, while his personal struggles and determination add depth to the legacy he left behind. Hans Christian Andersen was born to a poor family. His father, Hans Andersen, was a shoemaker and his mother, Annie Mary Anderstetter, worked as a washerwoman. The family struggled financially, and Andersen's childhood was marked by hardship and poverty. His father, however, was an educated man who loved literature and theatre. He often read to young Hans, sparking a lifelong fascination with stories and creativity. Tragedy struck early in Andersen's life. His father died when Hans was just 11 years old, leaving his mother to support the family alone. Annie later remarried, but Andersen's relationship with his stepfather was strained. Despite his difficult circumstances, Andersen's interest in literature and performance only grew stronger. He was known for his vivid imagination and would often entertain himself by putting on puppet shows, an activity that hinted at his future storytelling prowess. At the age of 14, Andersen left Odense for Copenhagen with dreams of becoming a singer, actor, and dancer. He arrived in the Danish capital with little more than his ambitions, and life was initially tough for the young Andersen. He struggled to find steady work, but his talent caught the attention of several benefactors who recognized his potential. His big break came when Jonas Collin, a director of the Royal Theatre, took an interest in him. Collin arranged for Andersen to attend school, despite Andersen's lack of formal education. School life, however, was difficult for Andersen. He was older than his classmates, and his teachers were unsympathetic to his background and aspirations. Andersen found the experience humiliating and often spoke of it with bitterness in later years. Nevertheless, he persevered, motivated by his love of literature and a desire to rise above his circumstances. Andersen's literary career began in the 1820s with poetry, which garnered some attention but did not bring him widespread fame. His first significant success came in 1829 with the publication of A Journey on Foot from Holman's Canal to the Eastern Point of Amager, a humorous travelogue that showcased his wit and observational skills. This work helped him gain recognition within literary circles, and he continued to write in various genres, including poetry, plays, and novels. In 1835, Andersen published his first novel, The Improvisator, inspired by travels to Italy. The novel was well received and marked a turning point in his career, bringing him literary acclaim. However, it was his venture into fairy tales that would truly secure his legacy. That same year, Andersen published the first of his fairy tales told for children, which included stories like The Tinderbox and The Princess and the Pea. Andersen's fairy tales differed from the traditional folk tales popular at the time. He brought a new blend of fantasy, humor, and social critique to his stories, imbuing them with emotional depth and complexity that resonated with both children and adults. His tales were not merely moralistic, they often depicted the pain and struggles of life, reflecting Andersen's own experiences and worldview. Over the years, Andersen published numerous collections of fairy tales, including beloved classics such as The Little Mermaid, The Ugly Duckling, The Emperor's New Clothes, and The Snow Queen. These stories often explored themes of identity, transformation, and resilience, and many contained autobiographical elements. For example, The Ugly Duckling is widely considered a reflection of Andersen's feelings of alienation and his struggle to find acceptance. Unlike traditional fairy tales, which usually ended with a simple moral, Andersen's stories were known for their nuanced endings. Some tales had bittersweet or tragic conclusions, adding to their emotional resonance. Andersen's style and the themes he tackled were innovative, and he quickly gained a following both in Denmark and abroad. His tales were translated into multiple languages, bringing him international fame during his lifetime. Beyond fairy tales, Andersen continued to write novels, plays, and travelogues. His travel writing was particularly well regarded, as he had a keen eye for detail and a gift for describing his surroundings. Andersen's novels, however, never achieved the same popularity as his fairy tales. Works such as Oti and Only a Fiddler were overshadowed by his more whimsical stories, though they still provided insight into his views on society and the human condition. One of Andersen's most remarkable qualities as a writer was his ability to imbue inanimate objects with life, giving them human like qualities and emotions. This approach is seen in stories such as The Steadfast Tin Soldier and The Little Match Girl, where Andersen used inanimate objects to convey poignant messages about love, sacrifice, and loss. His ability to emphasize with the marginalized and vulnerable in society reflected his own insecurities and struggles, and it endeared him to readers worldwide. Andersen's personal life was marked by a deep sense of loneliness. Despite his fame, he struggled to form lasting relationships and often felt misunderstood. He never made it, though he experienced several unrequited loves. One of his most famous unrequited loves was for Jenny Lind, a Swedish opera singer known as the Swedish Nightingale. Lind was the inspiration for Andersen's story The Nightingale. Though Lind did not reciprocate his feelings, they remained friends, and Andersen was deeply affected by her beauty and talent. Throughout his life, Andersen grappled with feelings of inadequacy, stemming in part from his humble background and a lack of formal education. His insecurities often influenced his writing, as he used his stories to explore themes of identity, belonging, and self worth. Andersen's letters and diaries reveal a man who yearned for acceptance and love, yet often felt isolated. Hence, Christian Andersen's fairy tales have had a profound impact on literature and popular culture. His stories have been translated into more than 125 languages and adapted into countless films, plays, ballads, and other art forms. His work has inspired generations of writers, filmmakers, and artists, including Walt Disney, whose adaptations of The Little Mermaid and The Ugly Duckling introduced Andersen's tales to an even wider audience. While Andersen is best remembered for his fairy tales, his influence extends beyond his literary achievements. In Denmark, he is celebrated as a national treasure, and his birthplace of Odense is home to a museum dedicated to his life and work. Every year on his birth, the Hans Christian Andersen Awards are given to authors and illustrators in recognition of outstanding contributions to children's literature. Andersen's work continues to resonate with readers because of its timeless themes and universal appeal. His stories explore complex emotions and moral dilemmas, offering insights into human nature that remain relevant today. Anderson's empathy for the marginalized and the ability to find beauty in the ordinary make his tales deeply moving and memorable. In his later years, Anderson was plagued by health issues including liver cancer. Despite his declining health, he continued to write and travel, determined to share his stories with the world. In 1878, he suffered a serious fall, which left him bedridden for several months. His health continued to deteriorate, and he eventually retired to the world of friends in Copenhagen. Hans Christian Andersen died on August 4, 1875, at the age of 70. His death marked the end of a remarkable journey from a poor boy in Odense to a world renowned storyteller. Andersen was buried in Assistens Cemetery in Copenhagen, where his grave has become a site of pilgrimage for fans and admirers from around the world.